Yo, what's up, you guys? It's Space, and I'm back. Hello. Yeah, I went on vacation again. Um, I didn't make a video about it because I didn't really want to go on this vacation for a few reasons. Because it's just like I've been on so many vacations this summer, and I just don't want to go on another one. But today, I'm gonna be telling the story about how this was the literal worst vacation I have ever been on in my entire life. So basically, this all started off when I was my dad had to go to an island for his job, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna come along with him. So I really never wanted to go until it was just like I didn't have really any other option than to stay at some place I didn't really want to stay or go with him. So I went with him and we started packing and stuff. It was going good. So here comes the day of the trip. I personally, the flight was at like 5 in the morning and we had to get up at 3 or we had to get there at 3. And I didn't really want to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning because I would be straight dead, so I stayed up all night long. So basically, I wasn't really tired in the morning, but I was gonna get really tired later on in the day. So we had connecting flights, so basically we had to fly to one place to another. So we flew to Charlotte, North Carolina, which is, it's a city in North Carolina. So our first flight was, it was alright. It was a bit bumpy, you know what I'm saying. And then we got to Charlotte, North Carolina, and we got into the airport, and everything was going according to plan, and I started getting really, really tired, because, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Or I didn't wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I stayed up all night. So, by this time, it's around 11, and I've already been up 24 hours straight. Because I woke up at 10 o'clock the day before, and it was a disaster. So basically, we get on the plane to go to where we're heading to, and our plane basically could not take off because it was falling apart, and it had two toilets were broken. Okay, and a few of the masks that dropped down for air had just dropped down and wouldn't go back up. So basically that's why we couldn't take off, and it was just like, what? So what we had to do is we had to get on another plane like 3 hours later. We had to sit in the airport. I fell asleep. I don't think I fell asleep. I tried to fall asleep on the airport. It was just so uncomfortable on those little chairs. Oh my god. And another thing, and there was just a bunch of people and they were staring at me. It was just really, really awkward. So I didn't really want to fall asleep. So then, like 3 hours later, we get on the plane and we start heading off. It takes them an hour to get the plane ready because it wasn't even ready for takeoff, which is so stupid, dude. It is so dumb. And by this time, I'm like, this was a big mistake coming on this trip already. It's already been horrible. So we take off, and we're heading over there, and we start flying over the water, and all of a sudden, I start getting this weird headache, and I get all, I feel horrible. I'm just like, I feel really bad because it's because I was asleep, or I was awake 24 hours straight. I was just miserable. It was horrible. So we get to the island, we are landing, and then that island, keep in mind, it is the most humid place in the world. It is so bad. So when you in this place, there are some places that have terminals and gates, that little hallway things that stretch out when you get off the plane. You walk down them and then you go into the airport. Some of the there was a few of those. There was a lot of them, but we got unfortunate and we couldn't find a gate, I guess, to go off. So what they did, they have these little cars, right? they drive around and they have stairs on them, so they raise up to the plane and you walk off the plane. But as soon as you walk off the plane, it is the worst feeling in the world. It's just like heat hits you so hard, but it wasn't even heat this time. It was just straight humidity. I could barely breathe. It was so bad. I immediately started sweating. And you know, I live in a place that's really hot, and it gets to like over the hundreds over here. So it's just kind of like, you know, it's still bad, but this was just like, the humidity was so bad. So bad. So my dad has a friend over there. He picked us up from the airport, and we drove over to this really nice luxury hotel. It was 5 stars, right? So we get over there. It's an American hotel, so there's a lot of American influence. There's a lot of American food, a lot of American... Basically, everything's really Americanized. It's like... This place is not... It doesn't seem like it's out of the country. So, you know, I'm like, oh, cool. But, you know, another thing, it felt just so, like, dead. Not like it wasn't busy or anything. It just felt like everyone was just like, you know, it feels like New York, kind of something where like I don't want to offend anybody or anything, but like, you know, it's just kind of like one of those places where it's just like everyone wants to do like just go to that certain place. There's no like fun. I'm not saying New York isn't fun, but I'm just saying that it's just like cold, you know. It's weird. It's hard to explain. The reason I said New York is because like it's basically like New York. There was so many people. It was so crowded. It was a cool experience when I first got there, but it was just like no one was really nice. And I know a lot of people in New York are nice and all in that area. I'm not saying anything bad about New York. Why do I keep talking about New York? I have no idea. But basically, I'm gonna get off the topic of New York. Why was it? So what happened was, we got to our room. It was a really nice room. It had a hot tub in it, like legit a hot tub in our room. But when we got there, our air conditioning was broken in the room. It was hot in there. There were mosquitoes everywhere. Reminder, there was Zika here. And I was like, I'm gonna get Zika, dude. Why? So every single time I saw a mosquito, I would hit it or try to hit it and say, "There's a Zika." And I don't know, dude. But so, like at 11 o'clock at night, we had to get moved to a different room because it took them 3 hours to find a different room for us to move to. Don't have a clue why. It was just really stupid. It was so dumb. It was so stupid. And then when we got in our room, it was nice. The air conditioning was nice, but so what happened was we got in our room and I'm like dead, dude. I am so tired because I was up since 10 o'clock the day before, so I've been up like 36 hours or so, maybe a little longer. I don't even know. It's about like 12 by that time. And so I get in bed, turn off all the lights, you know. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna fall asleep and I'm gonna be like dead asleep. It's gonna be good. So I fall asleep for about an hour, and then all of a sudden I hear like, "And I think of you." Like, I swear to God I heard that. And I'm like, what's going on? Am I dreaming right now? Like, I get up and I'm listening to, like, I hear this song and I'm like, where is that coming from? It's like loud, dude. It's so loud. It wasn't in my room. And then I realized it was a connecting suite. So basically there's a door that connects to another room. And someone was staying in that other room. You have to unlock both doors to get to each other's room. But it was locked, right? But the door was so thin, you could hear straight through, dude. They were drunk and partying. There was like 10 people in that room. They were laughing, they were screaming. And then I started hearing like some weird, like, I think it was like Arabic or Indian music. and it was so loud. Like, nothing against that music, but I'm just like, we were trying to sleep, and it was just so loud, and I was like, why did I come on this vacation, dude? It was so bad. So this is the first day. We called security. We literally called the front office, and we were like, dude, shut these people up. Just please. Just stop. So the next day, we get out of bed, and my dad, he had work there, so we had to go work. And I'm like, I'm on my own, right? So I'm like, okay, what should I do? So I'm like, I'm gonna go get some food. So I decided to go get some Italian food at this really fancy Italian restaurant. I just went in there by myself, because we can get everything free there. Everything was free. Everything was free. It was pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. But the food was actually pretty bad. It was really bad. A lot of it. So I get in there and I'm like, yo, I want like spaghetti and a big meatball. They brought it out. The meatball wasn't too bad. The spaghetti was like whole grain, so it was really bad. I'm pretty sure. So I went to check up on everything and just see what's up. I went back to the room and I had a nap because I was still really tired, because I'm pretty sure like 7 hours doesn't really compensate for 36 hours of being awake. Because I was still so dead. I could have slept all day if I wanted to, and that would still screw up my sleep schedule, and it was already screwed up already. Why? So that night, I was like, okay, well, it was about time where my dad got off of work, and we're like trying to find something to eat, right? So we saw the sushi place, right? It was, we were like, okay, let's go get some sushi. So I get in there, and we ordered a regular California roll, some like teriyaki roll, and some salmon roll. It was raw salmon, by the way, and it was on a third world country that was very dirty, and I should have thought 18 times before eating that sushi that was raw and was handled by a guy that didn't wash his hands and was like rubbing his hair. I don't know why I ate that, but I did, and that was a really bad mistake. I am still suffering from it today, and that's why I haven't made a video in like 2 days that I've been back. I had never experienced anything like that I had there, dude, and back here. So, the next day, my dad, he was feeling really bad, and I'm like, whoa, why is he feeling bad? He still had to do work and stuff, and I'm just kind of sitting there. I had a little stomachache. I'm like, I'm like, okay. Reminder, that night was partying again, so there was just a bunch of people partying. It was really annoying. So, my dad, he's like just feeling bad all day, and I'm like, I'm alright. You know, I can sustain myself. I'm fine. But so the next day, that night was nice. No partying. Nothing was bad. Next day, I wake up, or it was like 11 o'clock at night. I hadn't gone to sleep yet. I had the worst stomachache, and I really don't want to go into details on what happened, but let's just say the toilet was not happy with my results. It was the reckoning of that hotel bathroom. Ripping pepperonis to it. So basically, that happened at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, no, maybe 4 o'clock too, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and like 10 o'clock. I'm sitting here, I'm like, I feel so bad. I did not get like 3 hours of sleep. I was so screwed up. You have no idea. No idea. I was just like laying in bed when I woke up that morning. I'm just like, why am I still here? I was so screwed up. So my dad, he was like, oh, you know, we gotta go tell the guys over there that, you know, we can't really do any work today. And I'm like, why can't you just text them or email them? And he's like, you know, it's better to do it first face to face. And I'm like, we both feel like death. Why do you have to do that? I'm sure they'll understand. So he made me, or I didn't really have to do it, but I was just like, yo, I don't really, like, I just, you know, I don't know, I just wanted to come with him. So I went, and we went over to their little office thing, and he told them, and basically the person who runs the place, which is our friend, he was like, okay, we're gonna take you to the hotel doctor, okay? So we go over to this little sketchy little room, and there's this guy in there with a little nurse, and he's like, I can't really explain it, but he looked like the guy from, he was blue, he was that evil dude, he had like the giant forehead. Here, let me try to find a picture, I'll put it up. I found it, it's Megamind. That, it was like a really old movie, it was like animated, dude, I can't get that picture out of my head every single time that I tell this story. You have no idea, he looked so identical, and especially with his like little beard and stuff. It wasn't even a beard, it was like half beard, and his voice was so high pitched. I don't know, dude, it was really weird. So we get there, he really like, he was trying to make us pay for him. My dad knew more than this guy did, he wasn't even really a doctor, I don't think. He was just like, you know, drink Gatorade. My dad's like, oh yeah, we have to just wait till it flushes out of our system, you know, blah 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 blah. And this guy's just saying the weirdest things, like drink Gatorade, like, yo, you know what'll help? Eat some, well, no, he said, drink lime, lemon, and carbonated water. I'm like, Sprite? And he's like, no, lime, lemon, carbonated water. I'm like, that's Sprite. So we go to this place, and my dad's, it's like this like little restaurant. My dad's like, hey, do you guys have lime, lemon, carbonated water? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, is that not Sprite? And so they bring it out to me. It's like this little glass. It looks like Sprite, identical, but it had a lime on the top of it. So I'm like, okay, this has gotta be Sprite. So I take a sip of it. It's legit water that's carbonated with lemon and lime squeezed into it. It tasted so bad. It was so bad. It didn't help anything. It made, if anything, it made my stomach even worse. So what we did is we were like, okay, that's enough of that. So we just sat, and it was our last day. We just sat in bed and we just laid there. It was horrible. So next day, get up at 8 o'clock. Our plane leaves at 12, so we get to the airport at 10. You have to go through this retarded security that's just like, it's so hot outside, and there's just like bags and stuff, and we have to get everything checked. So we get in there, and we get into the little like main place. There's like, I'm surprised because there's legit Arby's, McDonald's, there was like Wendy's in there, KFC, and I'm like, this isn't America. What? I didn't think they would have this on some remote island, but they've had a lot of other things. So I'm still sick. I feel horrible. So we go into this like shop, right? And it had like, it had like sandwiches, chips, and drinks, and some like medicine, right? So I get a sandwich. I get some Lay's potato chips and the Gatorade, right? And so my dad's like, oh yeah, there's some pills up there that'll help my stomach, right? So we got them. We tried to get them. So basically, 2 sandwiches, 2 drinks, and 2 bags of chips turned out in that retarded little airport to $29. I don't know how, but it just did. And I'm like, what? What? So basically, and then we tried to get those pills, and the guy was like, oh, it's the pills are $17, right? So before that, we gave him $29, and we saw the pills, and he's like, oh, they're 17 bucks. So this guy barely spoke English, he spoke Spanish mostly. So we give him like 20 bucks, expecting him to give us $3 change, right? He just took the 20 bucks and made the total of all the things combined to $49. I'm like, no, that's not right. That's not right. And he's like, but I do not understand. This is what's it called? this adds up to $49. And I'm like, do they have school here? Did you pass high school? Did you go to high school? Did you go to elementary school, retard? Like, it was just like so painful, dude. He was just like, oh yeah, this adds up to $49. Let's see, 29 plus 17 does not add up to $49. What? How do you think that? How do you think that $49 or 29 plus 20 bucks is $49? Or it is $49, but how do you think that 29 plus $17 equals to 49? It's just like, how can you get any more stupid? I was just like, oh no. And hold on, you know what, man? You know what? Give me a sec. See, it adds up to 46 bucks, right? He just took the money and probably put it in his pocket. I can guarantee it. So we got to the gate. This video's super long already, 21 minutes. So we got to the gate and we just sat there for a little. We got on the plane. It was a bunch of Americans heading back to America. Duh. So another bad luck. We got sat in front of there was babies behind us. There was like 4 babies behind us, and they were screaming the whole entire ride. I can't stress this enough how annoying this was. It was so bad, dude. And then we got to North Carolina again, and we got on the plane, and where we live, my city, it had rain and thunderstorms, so we got on the plane, and they were like, you know what, we can't take off because your city is on a what's it called, like I forgot what it was. They stopped the planes from coming into the city because it was raining. It was like thunderstorms and all that, right? So we had to get off the plane again and wait like 5 hours till we could get on that plane again. By this time it's 12 o'clock at night. So we're in the sky flying over to where I don't really know. Like, it was just, we were flying. We had to circle around the airport twice, which took like an hour for some reason, because the retard pilot was really bad at flying planes, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I lined up the air traffic control, whatever. They lined up the flight path wrong." And I'm like, "Sure they did, but you totally didn't do that. You're a perfect little angel, aren't you?" And so basically, the landing. This is when you could tell he's really bad at flying planes, right? He landed, and basically, it's like we came in so fast, right? It was shaking so hard, we hit the ground so hard, I swear I thought the wheels were about to fall off, right? So we land, it was a bad landing, it was horrible. We just like hit the ground like, it was like, you know when you get triggered, right? And like the whole screen shakes, it was like that. And so we're landed, and to put the icing on the cake, we get on the tarmac, right? You know, the runway. And we're taxiing. We stop in the middle of the runway, and they're like, you know what? You know, since it was raining, all the gates are full, so, you know, we can't park the plane to let you off the plane. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So we're sitting there in the middle of the runway, just like, what do we do? Yo, like, what do we do? And we waited 2 hours, and we landed, or we went into the thing. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and so we went home, and I slept, and I woke up at like 2, and then oh yeah, I bought No Man's Sky. I returned it. I bought an AK Vulcan and an Op Graphite because No Man's Sky was alright. It wasn't too good. I didn't really care for it. So that's about it for the video, guys. I know this has been a really, really long video, 24 minutes. It's not like too long, but it's long enough to where most of you guys are not going to watch this far into the video. unless you really care about this whole situation, which is just so stupid. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. Yeah, that's about it, guys. Love you guys, and peace, space.